that I started making this week. It is the Zero Waste Gather dress by Birgitta Helmersson. Yeah, I've been dreaming of this dress for quite some time, and I thought it was time to start making it. All that I have left to do on this one is just sew on all of the buttons, and then it's done. I've only had experience sewing on buttons once, and it went fine, but it did take a while. So I feel like this one's going to take a bit of time for me as well, considering I have to sew on 9 buttons, but it's good to get practicing, I guess. I am also going to be making this same dress for my friend. We both bought our fabrics online from Merchant & Mills, and I am just so impressed with the fabric. Also, there's shipping times too. I placed an order and it was delivered to my door like 5 days later, and it came from the UK, so I thought that was very impressive, especially over the holiday season too. So I'll give you a closer up look of the fabric and the buttons that I'm choosing to put on it. So here is the fabric that I used. It's 100% linen, and it has this creamy yellow check pattern to it. I really liked how minimal the pattern is. From afar, it just looks like a solid color, but as you can see when you get up close, you can get the detailing of the little checks in it. I thought this was a really nice springy neutral color for the new year, but it can also transition nicely into the fall with some darker colors added to it. The buttons that I plan on using are just these wood buttons that I picked up from Joann Fabrics. I actually was planning to use these buttons for a different project that I just ended up not making, but I thought these will look very nice on this fabric. And I do really quick want to show you the fabric that my friend picked out, also from Merchant & Mills, because it's just beautiful. So it's also 100% linen with this more gingham color to it. I'm not sure what color the camera is picking up right now, but it's a dark khaki color with some black check throughout. So very pleased with this fabric from Merchant & Mills. She hasn't quite picked out her buttons yet, but I do have another pack of this that would look cute unless she wants to go with something different. Obviously, it's her choice, but we will see what she chooses. Applying all of the buttons. I don't know why, but I was kind of dreading making these buttonholes because the one other time I did it manually, and then this time I had to look up a tutorial again, and I used the actual button foot where the machine just does the work for you the whole time. So the buttonholes took no time at all to make. As you all know, sewing on buttons does take a while, so that took a bit of time, but it's all done, and I'm just really happy. So now I think it's time to try it on. Alright, I just tried it on for the first time, and I am so happy with how it looks. It's just like the flowiest dress. Look at that twirl. It has pockets. And yeah, I'm just really happy with how it turned out. There are 2 sizes to this pattern, I believe. I made size 1, which is US sizes 4 through 12. I was a little worried that it was going to be a little small because I am actually a 12, but there is plenty of room in here and I feel like it's the perfect size. I also did the sleeve hack to have it be a gathered sleeve instead of just a straight sleeve. To me, it just felt a little more finished, but yeah. Also, it does happen to match the socks that I'm wearing today. And speaking of these socks, dance moves. Okay, I'm gonna put these socks on some blockers so you can get a better look at them. I just knit these up. I finished them yesterday, so they were my last finished object of 2021. These are Andrea Mowry's Everyday Socks, which is just a perfect classic sock pattern. I was watching the Gentle Knitters Vlogmas, and in one of her episodes she was knitting up a pair of socks for her dog, and she mentioned how she actually often buys sock yarn from the big box stores like Joann Fabrics or Michaels, and she's like, I have no shame in it because they last for a very long time, and to me, I know that they're a bit affordable. So the yarn that I used was Patton's Croy socks. I have never knit with it before, but yeah, I just kind of went on a rampage and bought a ton of sock yarn from Joann's, Michaels, and Hobby Lobby. And I'm just so pleased with how these knit up. They feel fantastic on my feet. I don't like socks to be too soft. I know that's kind of weird, and I'll contradict myself in a moment, but these just feel sturdy and like workwear almost. And they're super warm because they are 75% wool and 25% nylon. So I know that they are gonna stand the test of time. And I've been wearing them since yesterday, and I just love them and feel really good in these. So the other great thing that I love about this yarn is the fact that I used up almost all of it. So there's like virtually zero waste, which is really cool. This was a great sock to knit while playing yarn chicken because you start from the toe and go up, so I would have just stopped anywhere if I was running out of the yarn. But the cool thing is I knit to the recommended height, and this is all I had left for the yarn. So it's really great if you plan on making the everyday socks. These are the perfect amount, just 2 balls will do it. I knit size 7, which isn't equivalent to US size. That's just what our pattern is. So size 7 was perfect for 2 balls of this yarn. Yeah, I'll show you the other colors that I got. And the first 3 that I'm showing you are Patton's Croy socks. So I got this marled gray and cream color, and then I got something similar. I think these are going to be more of a self-striping, so I'm probably going to do the everyday socks again with this yarn. This one is just pretty plain. It's kind of a grayish brown color. And I think I'm gonna do a sock pattern that has a little more of a stitch pattern with this one. I know that Horse Feather Fiber Arts has a fireweed sock, and I think I'm gonna make that sock out of this yarn. And then I got these other two from Hobby Lobby. I don't think they're actually sock yarn, but they are 100% nylon, which again, I don't know if that makes great sock yarn or not, but I'm gonna give it a try because it wasn't terribly expensive. So this is from Hobby Lobby's Yarn Bee line of yarn, and it's this really fuzzy, sorry, I'm sitting so far away from the camera, this really fuzzy material, and this color is called Coral Rust, which I just completely fell in love with this color. And then I got the same thing in this light tan taupey color. And I'm planning on just doing more of a vanilla sock with these, just because I don't think there needs to be much intricacy with this fuzzy stuff. It's just the yarn will steal the show for those socks. Yeah, so really excited about the socks. And I kind of decided that I'm gonna knit up a pair of sock in between completing bigger projects, or at least bigger pieces of projects. So for example, I was knitting up Mitch's fisherman sweater, which I've been doing for so long, and I knit one of the sleeves, so the front and back panels are done, and then I knit one of the sleeves, and then I decided to knit these socks in between as almost like a reward or a palette cleanser. And then I just have the other sleeve to knit on that one still as well. But I'm definitely feeling a bit of second sleeve syndrome. Speaking of, sorry, I feel like I'm talking all over the place. I haven't recorded in a while, so I'm a little rusty. But with these socks, it was the first time that I knit two at once. So just on a really long cord, circular needles, and my life has forever changed, and I'm never going back. Because I also get second sock syndrome big time when I'm knitting socks, and obviously when you're knitting two at once, that's just not the case. So really happy I tried that out. If you haven't done that yet, I highly recommend it. It really wasn't that hard to figure out. What? No crying. I also ended up getting some new needles for my sock knitting journey. It was my birthday on Wednesday, and one of my friends got me a gift card to the Yarnery, which was so sweet of her. And I've been wanting the Chowgu circular needles, and they had it at the Yarnery, so I ended up getting size US 1 and US 2. The reason why I wanted to get these is because I have been using Addy Rockets for sock knitting, which I do love, and they have that square shape on the needle, which is nice actually. But the cord of it started getting a little kinked up, and I've only been using them since this fall. So I wanted a cord that just was a little more durable and wasn't getting kinks in it. And this cord so far has been amazing. Like, it feels like heavy duty, and it almost looks like there's wire kind of threaded throughout instead of just a plastic cord. So I'm very happy with these. If you're in the market for some new sock needles, I highly recommend the Chowgus. But yeah, did get a whole new needle set that I forgot to show you all on my last episode. It was during Black Friday. I didn't really want to buy anything, but I just decided to check some websites just to see what they had. And I went on Pearl Soho's website and I saw that they've had the needle set that I wanted forever, for like a year. It's been sold out. It was finally back in stock. It wasn't on sale or anything, but I was so excited that I thought it was worth it and I didn't want to miss my chance. So I bought the Lika interchangeable needle set, the driftwood needles, and I believe these are the 5-inch, and the needle size runs from US 4 all the way up to 17. And let me tell you, I am completely obsessed with these. So I started out knitting on bamboo needles because I thought they were just beautiful. And then I realized I am a slightly more tight knitter. So after watching Andrea Mowry's YouTube, I learned that I should actually be knitting on metal needles because it doesn't grip the yarn as much. So your gauge just isn't quite so tight. But I did miss knitting on beautiful needles, so I decided to get these anyways. And they have a slightly more smooth, less grippy feeling to them as the bamboo ones. So I think it's like a happy medium, but just look at how beautiful those are. So highly recommend these as well if you can get your hands on them. Kevin wanted to come up and show everybody his really cool bone that he's working on. So what I'm working on, wow, a cool transition. I was planning on finishing that fisherman's sweater for Mitch because after all, I only have one sleeve left to go. But I did get distracted by, I cleaned out my knitting cabinet. It was an absolute disaster. I don't know if anyone else's gets completely out of control, but I just really needed to do that yesterday, so I did. And in the process, I rediscovered a project that I had been working on this fall that I didn't forget about it, but I just wasn't thinking about it. And that was this scarf that I'm making. This is just a pattern that I made myself. It's double-sided. I've shown you all this before, but I just wanted to show you the progress that I've made last night because I started working on it again. So I got from like here and up. And again, this is just such an addicting pattern because every time you knit a row, the landscape just starts to form before your eyes. So this has been super fun. I'm almost halfway done with it, which may be the right size, but if I have to expand it a little bit, I will, because I don't like my scarves to be too short. I want to really be able to securely wrap it. And then if I have yarn left over for it, I might make some like a matching hat or some gloves, either in a solid color or something complementary to this landscape. And just a reminder, I am using Wool in the Gang's Feeling Good, which is an alpaca blend yarn, and it is the softest yarn I have ever felt. I have seen other versions of this yarn. I am forgetting where or what company makes them, but there are definitely dupes for this yarn, and I'm not sure how it compares price-wise. This definitely was a bit of a splurge to buy all of the yarn, but I just felt like it's such a special scarf, and it's almost more a piece of work or art than it is just an accessory. So I thought it was worth the extra money I spent on it. So I know that a lot of people have been doing the Make 9 on Instagram, and from my understanding, it's 9 things they want to make in this next year, 2022. And I didn't really want to do that because I don't want to limit myself to just like 9 patterns, because I'm very go with the flow as far as patterns go on. If I'm like suddenly inspired by something, I just want to start that right away, and I just don't want to be stuck to 9 patterns that I decided today, which I might not be into like come July or something. But I am going on vacation with my family to the Florida Keys at the end of February, and I decided that I do actually want to make most of my wardrobe that I am going to wear down there. So I do have some patterns planned for my trip in February, and I think I'm going to focus on those. Most of them will be sewing patterns just because I can make that a lot faster. Historically, I'm a slow knitter, so I only have one pattern that I have planned to make, and that is my favorite things knitwear camisole number 2. I'll insert a picture of it right here. But I thought it would just be nice to have a nice little tank top. I already ordered the yarn from Lion Brand, and they have 100% linen cone yarn, and I got it in like a terracotta color, and I'll insert a picture of it here as well. So I am very excited to knit that up. I think the yarn's going to be arriving next week, so I really do need to finish Mitch's sweater first before I can start knitting anything else. And as far as sewing plans go for this trip specifically, I already finished one of the projects that I'm going to be wearing down there. Yes, it's long sleeve, but it's linen and flowy, and the temps down there will be mid-70s, so I think this will be a perfect breezy dress to wear. I also have fabric that I bought last summer that I was planning on making the fawn dress by Common Stitch. And it's a really cute dress, but I kind of lost the desire to make it, at least right now. So I think I'm going to use the fabric to make the envelope dress by Chris Wood Sews. Here's a picture of it. And I will show you the fabric in person. So here is the fabric. It's just a mossy green linen material, and I think it would make a really beautiful flowy dress, and I'll probably belt it with this like brown leather belt that I have with some matching brown slip-on mules. I also bought some fabric. I ended up making a shirt that looked exactly like a shirt that we had at the boutique that I work at, but I didn't want to spend $85 on it when I knew I could easily make it. So I ended up finding a free pattern, and I'll link it down below and show you a picture of it. And I made this shirt in a black muslin material, or like a gauzy material, and I am just completely obsessed with it. It fits so good. I can't show you right now because it's in the laundry pile right now. I did end up buying the same fabric in this white muslin / gauzy material, so I plan on making the same shirt in white as well. This has been my absolute favorite fabric to wear. I feel like it's almost like winter's linen. I know linen is oftentimes associated with the summer for how breathable it is. And this gives me that same feeling, but has a couple layers of fabric within itself, so it's a little bit softer and a little bit warmer. And I've been buying a lot of clothes from that boutique in this material, and now I'm making it too. And it's nice too. I just picked this up at Joann Fabrics, so it's very accessible to get as well. The last project that I have planned is gonna be super funky. It is inspired by Soft Pawn Vintage. She has an Instagram. She finds beautiful old beach towels that she turns into new clothing, and she also does a lot with quilts as well and turning it into new clothes. And I saw her make some shorts out of towels, I think it was last summer, and I've been so obsessed with it ever since, and I think I'm gonna finally make a pair. But also the Essentials Club, she has a YouTube and Instagram where she posts free tutorials on how to make all of these really cute trendy clothes. She made one for a matching set made out of old towels, and I watched the whole video, and it's very easy to follow, and I think I have enough practice to make something like that. So I want to use her tutorial to make the matching set, but with a little more inspiration to the Soft Pawn shop. I already forgot shop. How did I already forget the name? I just said it. You know what I'm talking about. But yeah, so now I have a new fun scavenger hunt at thrift stores to look for really cool towels. Obviously, I'm going to wash all of this beforehand, but I really want it to just be funky and colorful and wild because I'm going to be in the Florida Keys. And when I think of the Florida Keys, I just think of a lot of color. So I did end up going to Goodwill the other night, and I found the perfect washcloth towels that I want to use for pockets because they're not big enough. But I'll show you it because this is exactly the vibe that I was thinking for it. I'll be right back. So here are the washcloths that I found, and I was just so excited because this is exactly what I was picturing. So yeah, I was thinking of using one of them as a pocket on the back of the shorts, and then the other one as maybe a pocket up on the matching top. And the cool thing is they're reversible too. So I'll probably do one with the red side and one with this purple side. But again, I just want like so many crazy colors, like greens, yellows, blues, like the whole rainbow in this matching towel set that I'm going to make. So yeah, we'll see what happens. So I was going to record yesterday, but I was just kind of in a funk, and honestly I was like completely over 2021. So I thought it'd just be a little bit more refreshing to record in 2022, and I'm really glad I did. And I have a finished object already for the year, which is great, especially a beautiful one. And I'm just feeling a lot more fresh and reset to start this year. That's all I really wanted to talk about today, I guess. I have a lot of future projects to work on, but I also have to finish the ones that I'm still working on. We'll see if I ever get any of that done. But yeah, I just wanted to say thank you for, again, all of your support this last year. I started this channel last summer of 2021, and everyone has been absolutely fantastic. The best thing that I've gotten out of this whole experience is just how much I have learned about knitting and sewing along the way. And that's thanks to all of you for reaching out in the comments and letting me know things that they notice as I'm working on stuff or giving me advice. I think it's just great and I really appreciate you all. I am really looking forward to this year and having an entire year of filming and just seeing all of the projects that I'm able to make this year and all of the friendships that I get out of it. So if you really like this video, please like it and don't forget to subscribe below. That way you won't miss out on any future episodes. And also, if you want to follow along on Instagram, my account is @brookwillow with an underscore at the end. That's where I post all of my finished objects and have deeper conversations in the messages and whatnot. So I hope you all had a great new year and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.